Howdy, Beeflo Bart here, and welcome. There should be video on this one. Idiot. I do apologize for that. Apparently, I still need to unmap the keys that I have bound, and apparently one of the keys that I have bound for different things for my streaming software is also going to be stuff that I use with Unreal Engine 4. So I apparently switched it over to a different scene, and that scene was looking for something that wasn't there, so it showed a black screen. So I do apologize. Okay, we'll start it back from where we were on the other one. We're going to do a health bar, very simple health bar system. See, I've got a blank project. I'm going to go ahead and go to Add New, Feature and Content Pack. We'll do third person, add to project, and done. And just because I'm not going to keep this one anyway, and the one that I did from last night, I've already deleted it as well, we're going to add, for the heck of it, starter content. Yeah, why not? So for health bar, we just want something that's going to be visible for our player so we can see what our current health is. And what we'll do is I'll set up a widget for the health bar, and we'll position that as a type of HUD overlay in the upper right hand corner of the screen. Then we can, let's go to our third person example map. Set up a way of testing to make sure that we have health and it's reading correctly. So we don't need you. And since I get confused so easily, let's go ahead and get, well, has nothing to do with it. Let's get rid of you, and let's get rid of you. Now we can save all, save selected, and what I'll do here is go into and do my usual. I'll create a new folder called character, and I'm, you have to pardon my spelling. Still getting over that kidney stone, and it's kind of traumatic to the body. So I've been in bed quite a bit the last few days, more than normal. And what we're going to do is create a new folder, blueprints, and we will take our third person character, drop them into here, copy, and we're going to rename it to player_base. I've gotten stuck on using player_base. And since Unreal Engine hates me, and I'm too stupid to figure out how to create this so that it goes to main window and disables auto-saving every time I create something, I do that. So now, player base. The only thing I'm going to do in here for right now is start setting it up. So I'm not going to be using touch input, so I'm going to get rid of that. I'm not using gamepad or VR. So just getting rid of things that I don't need. Those are fine, they can stay. First thing we need to do is give our character a health amount. And there's two ways of doing this, and we're going to create this variable called health, and we're going to, well, there's multiple ways of doing it. Make it a float, compile and save. And we're going to set that to 50. It's not going to be everything. Another way that a lot of people will do this is they will create another variable called max health. Max. And I don't normally do this. And the reason why I don't normally create a max health is because what happens now if you want your character to get a booster shot and have more than 100 health? Well, you're kind of stuck with this being your max health of being 100, and you can never go over it. So if you want to cap it at 100, go ahead. But otherwise, you can leave it at that. I'm actually going to do it without max health because I don't want to. And we're going to put this at 100, which would be our normal max health anyway. And I go by 100 instead of 10 like some people do. I'm going to do it at 100. So we don't have any damage right now. We don't have anything causing damage. We're just going to set up our health. We need that variable in our player. And let's create another folder, and we're going to call this interface, and we're going to create a widget blueprint. We're going to call this our health bar underscore W. If you want to combine all your UI into one, you can. I'm only going to put a health bar in. So let's make sure that we are set up here. Game mode override, third person game mode, and we want to use player underscore base. So now if we hit play, that was a weird artifact there. See, I had a mouse cursor, and I don't like that. So whenever I hit play, you can see I have a mouse cursor still, and that annoys the living crap out of me. It doesn't affect anything when you build your game and that kind of stuff, but I have to click on the screen somewhere before I can actually have control of my character. So to alleviate that, I can come over and we'll do, say, event begin play, and we will set input to game mode only, or game only. Get player controller, reference here. And from get player controller, we're going to drag off from this and set show mouse cursor. Leave that unchecked so it will be false. So now we have no mouse cursor when we first start it. And there we go. And we're also ensuring that if that's what we want, that we have no mouse cursor. Because in this kind of third-person game, you really don't need a mouse cursor unless you're clicking to move to a location. That would be more of a top-down thing. So, okay. Let's go into our health bar widget, and let's go ahead and add in. The first thing I like to do if I'm going to position it in my screen and leave it in a certain location is I like to throw in an image. And let's go ahead and anchor that to the upper right hand corner. And what I want to do is kind of manually position it. You can do whatever you want to get it where you want it. I'm going to leave it a little bit big for right now. Go to color. I'm going to change this to black. Change my alpha to 0.5 so it's transparent. Then we want to be neat and organized. So let's go ahead and call this our background. Grab our progress bar, drag that over here, stick it inside, and it's going to be big. We can resize it whatever we want later. Next thing I actually want to do is go back to my background, go to the Z order, and put this at -5. You can put it -1 if you like, but I do -5, so everything is always going to be above it. And we're just going to change this to our health bar, and come over here to our fill color and opacity, and I'm going to change this to 1 on red, 0, 0, and just because I'm going to throw it up here so we can save that color. Go to our percentage. You see we can drag it over like this, and that's how it's going to look on our screen. In upper right hand corner, it's going to be a little bit big, but whatever. So if we tried to play right now, we're not going to have anything. We don't have the health bar. So what we need to do is also on the event begin play, we can actually do this right here. Select these three and collapse node to function or whatever if you wanted to, but not necessary. So we're going to drag this over here, and the next thing we want to do on event begin play is we want to create a widget. And since we already have our player controller, drag this over to here, select our widget, which is our health bar. We want to add to viewport. If you drag from the blue to do that, it'll go ahead and auto connect the white. So we've added it to the viewport, and there it is. Now it's still not going to be correct. So if we hit play, see we have it, and one thing we forgot to do was select this and anchor it to the top right as well. Alright, so there we go. Got our health bar. It's not working. It's not correct. So let's make it functional. we'll go into our health bar. With our health bar selected, let's go ahead to our percentage and bind. Left click on bind, create binding, and it's right here. So I'm going to rename this to health amount. Drag this over here. Drag this over here. What we need to do is cast to player underscore base, which is our whatever our player character is, and get player character. Drop you right there. From here, we want to get health. And since this is based off of 100, what I want to do is get right here and float divided by float. And we're going to connect this to here and change this to 100. And that's it. That's going to give us our correct amount. So now you can see our health bar is full. We have 100 health. That's lovely. Yay, we now have a working health bar. That's it, really and truly. That's all you need to get a working, simple health bar. Make sure that it's working. Let's go ahead and do a simple way. There's so many different ways you can generate damage and damage events. So I'm actually going to go back to my content folder, and I'm going to create another new folder called Gadgets. I'm going to create a new blueprint actor. I'm going to call this our pain pad underscore BP. Very simple. We're going to add a component of a cube. We're going to change the Z height to 0.1. Going to get a box collision. Click back on it, and we're going to change X and Y to 1.5 by 1.5. Move it up. So now we have that. So compost, save, go to our event graph. We don't need any of you guys. Goodbye. We're going to right click on our box collision, on component begin overlap, and cast to player underscore base, which is our player character. It's the only thing we have, so it's all we need to interface with. So you could also get actors in range or what have you, but for this is going to do exactly what we need to do here. We need to get health, and we need to set health. Thank you, Pornhub, for teaching me how to type with one hand. I'm sorry, did I say that out loud? Oops. Yeah, we're just going to connect that to there. And what we're going to do here is setting our health minus, so float minus float. And we're going to do 25 damage every time we step on this pad and hook it up to there. So, now, let's drag this into the map. Hit play, walk over here, and bang. We can see that it actually takes away 25 of our health. Does not kill us, but, you know, it's setting up that health bar. You can set up your death animations and your death stuff however you want. Let's click on this guy, go to details. Well, let's actually go into it here. Go into our cube, and we actually have starter content. And let's go to materials. And screw it, let's just put a rust texture on it. Compost, save, done. Alright, so a simple healing system, simple Doing health kits, yeah, there's a bunch of different ways of doing that also. If we want to just go ahead and give ourselves something that we can step on that gives us a little bit of health back, we do basically the same thing. In fact, let's delete that, and I'm just going to right click on the pain pad, duplicate, and call this our heal pad underscore BP. Go in here, and instead of this, we can do float plus float. Change that to 25, connect that in, and this will now actually give us health. Compost, save, let's go to our cube, pick a different material just because we want to be different. Let's go with chrome, that's lovely. Compost, save, here, back to gadgets, and throw that into the map. So now we can come in here and cause damage, or go over here and regenerate. You could do things to trigger your health to come back. You could set minimum health as a variable, maximum health as variable, and you can set conditions for death saying that, okay, if health is equal to or less than 0, then you're dead, and then, go ahead and build your sequence from there. But we won't complicate things. We're going to keep this video brief. What I'm going to start doing is things like this where the video is actually smaller pieces, smaller segments, build a simple way first, and we've established a way of doing this and that. Now, what we can do is also come back in here, since this is our heal pad and we're getting our health. What we can do here is set up a branch node, and what we want to do is find out if our new number is greater than 100. If so, and this is a quick check, so every time it tries to heal you, then it will go from here. So from here we want to do our set health. This prevents us from getting an overheal or an overkill. Set our health to 100. Or if you had the max health, then you're going to drag that in. But this is going to prevent us from going over 100 on our healing. And on our pain pad, we can do basically the same thing. We can get this and do float. See if it is greater than 100. Throw in our branch node. Click that in there. Get your ass back over there. Ow. Then come back over here and we need our set health. If it is true, then yeah, set it to 0. That's fine. Because this is the pain pad. We don't want to go below 0. So this way we're setting it back to 0. So now if we come over here and do pain, 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 that should be 0 or negative 25 if we didn't have that in there. So now if we heal, see it's still registering that way. Pain pad, it's subtracting 25. It's asking is our health, oh, this is pain pad, less than, dum-dum, is it less than 0? Helps put the right thing in there, right? So now, if I go over here and 3, and 4. I'm at 0. If I go back over it one more time, I should still now be at 0. So now if I go over this, we should see health come back. Yeah, man, that's right. Perfect. Okay, so that's that. That is creating a simple health bar. That is setting it up as a widget so it begins on begin play. We've set up 2 test platforms here, one to deduct health and to ensure that we're not going below 0 on damage, and make sure we're not going over 100. So I should still be at 100. No matter how many times I walk over this, I'm only going to be 100. So we can't have some of our players going and doing this right here, bouncing up and down on top of our health and getting supercharged. Now as soon as I take damage, boom, it takes our 25 away. So that works. Again, I want to apologize for not having any video on the last video, and remind everybody that I will be trying to do more of these short videos where I come in, I get to the point, I build what we got to build, and in the video try to keep them under 30 minutes instead of the usual 1 hour that I have been doing. So around 20 minutes or so, depending on what we're actually building, should be about appropriate. So if you have questions, let me know in Discord. I will see Discord a lot faster than I see comments in the video. And what I can do is expand on this from here if needed. But you guys got to let me know what you want to see, and if I can do it, then I will. Going to be testing a few other things out later, but we'll try to make a couple makeup videos tonight and see what I can come up with. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. And again, if you're watching this live, I'll probably start up another video here in about 10 minutes. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.